remember all those who passed away during the month. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Gerard. Right. Mr. Devine.
Here.
Heather.
Here.
Ms. Cohen. Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Gorman.
Present.
Mr. Petroci.
Present.
Mr. DiGiuseppe.
Here. Okay, Merle, is there anybody in the public? Is the chief out there?
He was there earlier.
Nobody back there at all.
Okay, so that ends public participation. There's one thing on the agenda to be voted on, so Jim has it first, so why don't we deal with that? If I can get a motion from somebody on the first thing on the agenda. Authorizing the ordinance established. Dave's making the motion.
Yeah, Mr. President, I'd like to authorize the ordinance to establish stop sign on Mill Street and Basin Street.
Second by Ms. Rodriguez. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, Mr. Solano, do you have anything?
No.
Mr. Dillon?
No.
Yeah, just real quick, Mr. Dillon, are there any apartments in town where the landlord makes the tenant pay for a parking spot on the street?
They should pay for it?
Yeah, like, for instance, I live on Franklin Street, and my landlord said if I pay him, I could have this parking spot in front of my house.
No,
But it's,
I'm not aware of such.
okay, all right.
Totally illegal.
All right, that was one. And I just want the people from Wood Street, from the West Ward to know that Michael Gorman and I have been in contact with the mayor and spoken to the chief regarding the shooting. Almost every day, try to find out if anything's been done, just so the people from Wood Street can know that we're also very concerned for our constituents, and it's definitely being investigated, and it's being done the way it should be handled. So, on that note, hopefully something will be resolved soon. Then, I also want to recognize it's National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th. On a normal basis, we were going to have the Puerto Rican Culture Association's president and vice president come in, but with everything that's going on, we're unable to. So I personally wanted to recognize two people. One of them, her name is Anna Rosado. She was recognized by Brian Fitzpatrick for graduating from the Opportunity Council for a self-sufficient program. This young lady is a single mom and bought her first house on Buckley Street. And I'm just very proud of her being who she is, one, a woman, two, Puerto Rican, and three, being single, but moving on in life and not depending on the system to take care of her. And Brian has recognized her with a flag and a certificate, and maybe one day in the future we'd like to bring her in and recognize her also. The second person I'd like to recognize is Josefina's. Josefina's shop, which we've known for a long time, has been there, well, her shop's been open for 30 plus years. She signed up for this contest, and she's the winner of the Pantene / the Dress Code Project. For the contest requested salons over the county, but she won for being LGBTQ friendly and inclusive. And I think that's an honor for someone in our community to be recognized that way. So congratulations to Josefina and her shop and her staff, and to Anna Rosado. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay. Mayor?
Yeah, I got a couple things. During the month, I've been working with the chief and the police chief and the fire chief at a request from the borough manager to start thinking about budgets and looking at the 2020 budget, and then looking at proposed budget for 2021. Happy to say that both chiefs have went over everything, and we submitted what we believe to be the final cost of the 2020 budget and what's proposed for 2021. Also, too, as Betty discussed about the shooting investigation on Wood Street, it's very active. Again, we're very fortunate, my belief, to have Chief Henry in our corner. We have the support from the District Attorney's Office and the FBI's Safe Street Task Force. So I want to reach out to the people on Wood Street. You are not forgotten. We are actively investigating this. And we appreciate the cooperation of the Wood Street residents while we investigate this cowardly act. And if you see that video, you know it's a cowardly act. We had our second meeting, Chief and I, with Gaudenzia and Lenape Valley regarding our continued concerns with the challenges that we've been facing with those two facilities relative to the response by our police officers. We think we got a lot resolved. I don't know about what will happen relative to them providing their own security. From what I understand, what was communicated to us is there are some federal laws that restrict them from doing certain things. So we're going to have a meeting with Lenape and Gaudenzia, and the hospital is the next meeting. The Gaudenzia and Lenape have agreed to restart their monthly meetings so that if there's any problems that are coming up, we've asked that they also include the hospital. October 24th is Drug Take-Back Day. We will take our old prescription medications at the Borough Hall from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll also be at the Grundy Towers for their residents between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. We'll have a police officer here come into the building, or we'll stick the box maybe out front and have the police officer sitting there. I'll talk to the chief, but it will be here on the 24th from that time. Days are getting shorter. Please take care while driving and attentive for pedestrians. Also, too, I understand that the school children may be going back. I don't have anything official, but we want to keep our attention to that the kids are back in school. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Michael?
Yes, first of all, I'd just like to echo what Mayor Saxton has said, and also Councilman Vice President Betty Rodriguez, that this unfortunate occurrence on Wood Street, we have been updated as we always are, and just want to assure people that safety is the first thing, and they're investigating it, and that we've been advised to stay away so that the proper investigation can be carried out. On another note, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Bristol Lions. The Bristol Lions, they have updated the gazebo, if you have not already seen it. It was something that they chose to do. A special thanks to Rich Snyder, Dave Marucci, and Mike Myers, who had first hands-on of the work that was done there. There's more to come. The lighting and the additional brackets, decorative brackets, will be installed this week, completed by Friday, so that the gazebo once again could be open to the public for their enjoyment. Just bear in mind right now that there is a temporary barricade up just to allow the floor to cure. So after this week, that should be able to be taken down. And again, once again, this was decided by the Lions Club that it was time that they update that, and as you can see, it ties in very nicely with the ward. So thank you to the Bristol Lions. That's it.
Because I know you were involved from the start with that project, so thank you for your hard work. Louis?
Yes, first I'd like to thank those that supported the Rotary Club of Bristol's golf outing today. Many local businessmen and agencies supported that, and it results in, last year, the Rotary Club gave out over $16,000 worth of scholarships, most of them to Bristol Borough residents. On Thursday, Bucks County Rescue Squad had a ceremony launching their new ambulance. This was able to be done because Bristol Borough and Bristol Township cooperatively requested funds from the RDA, from the casino gambling money. It was a little over a year ago, the rescue squad was in dire shape because of some fraudulent things that had gone on, and through the borough, we were able to work with the township, got them back and involved with the rescue squad, and since then, things have turned around even to the point where the court hearing, the fraudulent monies are being returned to the squad, and this ambulance and the equipment's over $160,000, and the squad was thanking the RDA and also State Senator Tommy Tomlinson, who made this possible for Bristol to be included in the casino grant money. We are contingent to the contingent communities, so it was something that was corrected from the initial billing. But it was good to see that the squad is back in action, because this town really depends on the squad, and they're doing a real good job. There's three of us on the squad's board, Mr. DiGiuseppe, Mr. Dillon, and myself, and Cynthia Murphy, Kevin DiPolito, and Francis Phillips from the township, along with other people on the board, and we were able to bring back some old board members who had left after some of the problems, so it's good to have that board back and have the squad back in action. That's it.
Dave?
Yes, thank you. Earlier this evening, I gave Mr. Dillon a small list of things that needed to be done in the North Ward. And my only other question is to Mr. Dillon is, do we have a timetable? Jefferson Avenue looks so nice. Do we have a timetable for Pine Street to be repaved? That street is I don't know if they're still working on it, but man, that's tough to drive down that street.
I don't, but I'll try and reach out to Aqua.
Thank you, that's all I got. Thank you.
Greg, what do you have?
Not much. One question, I remember us discussing it, I just don't know if we already settled on it. Christmas parade, tree lighting stuff, have we decided
All
that?
canceled.
All canceled, okay. Are we gonna still have a tree that is lit, just not have a tree lighting ceremony, or?
I think so.
Okay, I just think that would be a good idea, I know. It's a bummer to not be able to do the event, but it'll
I
still be
think
nice.
that the
Yeah.
decorations will still go up.
Yeah, okay. Also, I just wanted to put out a reminder there that we asked that people submit applications for boards and commissions. We've gotten a few over the last month, and we're going to ride it out through October. So if you're interested in boards and commissions, if you go on the borough website, there's a description of them and what's available. And, I'm sure you can reach out to any one of us, but it's much quicker if you just go directly to Mr. Dillon and tell him that you're interested. But I would be happy to be that conduit for you, and I'm sure anyone else would be as well. And then the last thing is just trying to stick with this idea of educating our voters in the sense of how you vote. So I know there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of stories out there, and I do think that Bucks County's done a really good job. getting ahead of that and making sure people are comfortable. So I would just encourage you to go on to buckscounty.org again, and there is it's called the election portal there, and it's got all kinds of information on drop boxes and where they're located. And I know some people with the mail-in ballots have had some concerns. For us, it's, I think, not the worst news that there are only 3 drop boxes in the county, but one of them's right at right near Convaligan, where the county office is there, the health department and all that other stuff. So there's some places to do that. So just look into it. If you're not comfortable going to the polls, just look into the best way for you to vote. That's all I have.
Before I go on to Mr. Devine, I received a call from Mr. Ciccoletti regarding one of our trucks. It's Truck 2, and it needs a lot of work. It needs a bed. It won't pass inspection. But if you put some money into it for a second vehicle, it's not a bad vehicle. That was a backup, not for an everyday vehicle. And I talked to the manager and the solicitor regarding this truck, and I think legally we could give it to them instead of putting it out on public bid. So I'm asking council to support that once we get our truck in, to give the school board this truck for a second vehicle for them. And I'm also going to we have a very limited staff right now. I don't know if anybody's been here, but we have 1 secretary working. One's on vacation, one's at home. Bridget's any day going to be leaving for her daughter, is due any day. So we're down to hardly anybody in the building. So anything you guys can do to lighten their load and just wait till we get a full staff again, even the public, we would appreciate it. So I'm trying to get a letter to the school board regarding recreation, and see if they could form a committee of maybe 3 or 4 people, and I'll form a committee here to meet with them to see how we're going to move forward with recreation. I think they should have some input in how we move forward with what we're going to do. And that's about it. Mr. Devine.
Sure. A couple things. The first thing is, I would like to thank Tim Witherspoon Jr. and his group of volunteers for cleaning up over at the basketball courts and surrounding areas. I also got a chance to meet his dad, who's a former world heavyweight champion. It's kind of cool, like in our town, Bristol Borough, we have a former world champion that's helping clean up our basketball courts and surrounding area over there. You know, not just a state champ or, United States. He was a world champ. And he actually looks better now than he did when I used to see him play at Twin Oaks basketball courts. So it was a good day Saturday to get that stuff cleaned up.
Tony, not to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that Lorraine was on her way here. I think she threw her back out.
Mhm.
She's not feeling good, and she went back home. So I want to put that on the record.
Okay. Mr. Dillon, I didn't get a chance. I saw this probably 2 days ago, and I never got a chance to call you. I don't know if Dave brought it up to you, but there was graffiti, a little bit of graffiti on that bridge going on Jefferson Avenue towards the baseball field, the underpass. On the left-hand side, if you're going towards Gabriella's Pizza, so it would be on the left-hand side. It said, I don't even know what it said, Trump or something. I forgot what it said on there, but I don't know if that was dealt with already. But if it wasn't, if we could have somebody, put a little paint on that to cover it up. I want to thank Mr. Dillon for taking care of, we had a broken swing set that was a little dangerous, and the grass was getting high over at the baseball fields. He had George and everyone go out there and take care of that, so I appreciate that. I guess the next questions I have is, I know that we just recently approved that $1 million bridge. To me, that leads to nowhere. And I was just, I'm just thinking about it. What are we planning over there? Because I'm sure we just didn't, I know it was only grant money and it didn't cost the taxpayers any money, but what are we planning on? Is that something that's, the only thing in my head I'm thinking, is there something there that we're going to develop? Is there something there that, is going to help maybe with the sale of the sewer plant? I don't know, Ralph, if you have any inclination of what's going on over there?
Dylan, you want to talk about it?
This is, originally, we did get 2 grants. We went out to bid to build the bridge, and it came in, the bids came in much higher than anticipated. So this is an effort to try and close that gap, so the taxpayers don't have to pay for the bridge. The purpose of the bridge is to gain access to the sewer plant, because right now, we have to go all the way down 413 and back in along that very bumpy road. Dale has given us some access through their gates, but who knows if they ever sell and, or do not allow us to use access through their gates to our sewer plant. Also, the bridge will allow bicycles and pedestrians to walk back through into that area, which is a nature area, so.
Okay. And the other question that leads into it for me is, I know we talked about it in the past about, the sewer plant going up for sale. Have we had any talks with anybody in recent months about the sale of the water plant? Sewer plant, sorry.
We occasionally, get asked, Lower Megfield, as an example, just sold their plant, and other entities that are selling their water and/or sewer plants, but there's nothing before the sewer authority at this time.
Okay. So nothing serious that would be, important for us to know about?
Not at this time.
Thank you. The next question is, all right, I guess this is for Ralph. What are the plans with the Elm Street and Chestnut Street parcels? Like, since you no longer believe that, that Central Park idea, is something that's feasible or something that you're going to get behind, is there any other council members that would be interested in doing the Central Park idea? Is there any other, that would have, basketball courts? Yes, Mike?
Well, I thought that the whole Central Park idea was you were going to get together a committee and come up with a design. So I don't think it was dropped.
Right, no, I'm just asking if there's anybody here, because,
Sure, once we see the plan, I'd
Yeah,
love
okay.
to be involved.
All right.
And I would agree with that. I think it's a good idea. It's just a
Okay,
matter
no, I was just wondering, that's all, because I haven't heard anything from anybody. All right, so basically, that's all I got.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? That's a quick one.